Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend so far, rocking out, having that rest and recovery time that you need for your goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions for the week ahead. Quickly, before we get started today, is actually daylight savings time is ending, so make sure that you are putting your clocks back an hour. Give yourself an extra hour in the day. Most people use it for sleep, some people use it for extra productivity, and other people use it for rest and relaxation. Next, I have launched officially a weight loss course for beginners. It is an online digital course for download. Discover 5 little known secrets on how to lose weight. If you or somebody you know of is interested in dropping a couple pounds, a few pounds, now that the 2021 is officially ending almost, we've got, what do we got? We've got Christmas parties coming up, New Year's parties coming up, resolutions coming up. So definitely, if you or somebody you know of is interested, it's an online digital course for download that you can go at your own pace as your schedule sees fit. Reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. We'll get you rocking and rolling. There's tons of cool stuff that comes along with the initial launch, and I'm super excited to get it out there into the universe. Next, free product of the month this month is Laurel Leaf Oil, which is the prominent oil in the Easy Air blend, which is the respiratory blend from doTERRA. Laurel leaf, an ancient symbol of victory. Laurel leaf promotes an environment of courage and concentration. As a natural cleanser and skin soother, Laurel leaf essential oil helps you accomplish little victories you strive for each day. This is a limited time offer item, unavailable for purchase except during applicable promotions. So this is actually one of the reasons that I love the product of the month most of the time, is because they give you oils that are exclusive for just this type of moment. They're not normally for resale, so you can't really ever get them at another time. So that's why I love it. So if you're interested in free stuff or getting exclusive oils that your friends don't normally have the opportunity to get, reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and I will get you rocking and rolling. Next, Douglas Fir this month is 15% off the oil. I love that because normally it's only 10% off, right? So they give you an extra 5%. Sometimes they do that. This is amazing. Douglas Fir is actually an awesome oil for helping to calm and relax. Especially on the weekend, especially at nighttime, right? When you're trying to calm down, calm your emotions right at the end of the day, and you're trying to create that relaxing environment to help you go to sleep. I love using that one. It's also great to put on your mask, right? Especially, if you if you ate some garlic or some onions at lunchtime. I love that one. Lastly, 20% off specific or select enrollment collections. This one is amazing. This is actually the perfect time for if you or somebody you know of is or has been interested in essential oils, reducing the toxic load in your lifestyle, living a more natural, alternative lifestyle. This is definitely a promotion that you do not want to miss. I'm super excited. I almost want to unregister so that I can re-sign up and save some money. This is an amazing promotion. So definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and I will definitely get you the deets on how to enroll. Okay. Let's take a breath here. That's all. That's where I'm going to cut it off for you. I promise you, there is so much more going on over here. What a great time to be alive. I'm telling you, this is amazing. But that's where I'm going to cut that off right now. We're going to get into today's topic. So what I wanted to actually talk about was today is actually daylight savings time. So we want to make sure that our clocks are going back an extra hour. And we actually get an extra hour. The one day in the year we get an extra hour throughout to do really whatever we want, right? Some people use it for extra sleep. Some people use it to get more done, be more productive. Some people use it to actually do nothing. So actually for me, it's actually an interesting moment of time. This is one of the times where when we work weekend work, we go from Saturday 6 a.m. to Sunday Saturday 6 p.m. to Sunday 6 a.m. And this time, this specific day, you actually turn a 12-hour shift into a 13-hour shift. because the clocks go back at whenever time it does. So it kind of throws you off a little bit, and you don't really like working for more hours for less money, but it's only one day a year, right? So what I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about today was how to use that extra hour to help rest and relax your body, especially on a Sunday, right? When we know that, Monday's coming and we need to be at our best, at our tip-top shape, right? We need to be at the ability to have peak performance. So that's where, especially on a Sunday, right? We want to do what we can to help sort of rest, relax, and, recharge for the week that is coming up. So that's where I wanted to give some tips here that help me sort of help to relax, right? Rest up on the weekend and really, use that rest time as a sort of, way to help you, change your thought process, right? Come at it with a completely different attitude and ready to rock out the week. Instead of being tired and groggy and just having the week happen to you, be ready to rock out the week, right? So I got some tips that help me. Hopefully they help you too. Hopefully get some value out of this, right? And hopefully, maybe use one or two of these tips in your own life. Like, come back to me, tell me how great it helped you. Or come back and tell me how it didn't help at all. I would love to hear either way. Either way, I would love it. So, the number one thing that we can do to help us rest and relax, recharge on the weekend, be ready to go and get our mind off of the daily hustle and bustle is to go for a walk. Just for real, just like go outside, drop everything that you're doing, don't really think about anything. This was one of the things that I really had to learn, because for me, I'm really, a go all the time type person. I don't really do stopping and relaxing. I don't really do, taking my foot off the pedal, if you will, right? So for me, if I'm doing that stuff, it's where it's something that I'm not progressing forward, right? I can't really grasp the concept of the rest and relaxation. So this was something that I really had to learn, right? I really had to learn that, sometimes you need to come back at a specific situation with a different thought process, a different way of looking at things in order to come up with a different solution, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? So every once in a while we got to take a break, right? And going for a walk is a great way to help you. And I talked about this off the hop with the Douglas fir, right? We've got a forest thing right over here, right beside our apartment. I think that's what I'm looking for. Creek, I guess. I don't know. Pathway, sure. But for us, right, it's nice. It's got the trees right there, and especially nowadays, right, when the leaves are changing and they got that nice orange, yellow sort of vibe to it, right, if you will, and it's so nice to look at. Also, when you're walking in the trees, right, trees have a natural aroma that helps calm and relax you, right? It's one of those things where, you're automatically relaxed, in a relaxed state when you're walking through, right? You can't help but really just be drawn back by, the beautifulness of nature, right? Especially, and then to take that one step further, it's it's later in the day now, especially in wintertime, right? The sun goes down super early. But when you're walking outside with the sun shining on you, and you've got the nice, and it's actually that nice cool ray that comes through the trees, and it kind of just like disperses everywhere, and it looks really cool. It's just a nice way to help relax your thoughts. Like I said, give you a different way of thinking, right? And just the ability to come back to a problem later on in the day after your brain has had its chance to, sort of run through all of the possible scenarios. And then who knows, maybe it works, right? Maybe it doesn't, but I can promise you that, and you already know this, right? If you're going all the day, eventually you hit that wall, right? And you just kind of crash and you can't really keep up with it anymore. So going for a walk, I promise you that it helped me. It really helped me, and I was really one of those guys that was super against it. So I would definitely suggest trying it because it helped me. And, it's a great way to help just get your mind off of what's going on. Because if you keep trying at it and you keep going at it and you keep not getting it, it's so discouraging, right? So you need that little bit of motivational push. Number 2 way to help you use a rest day to rest up for the week and actually be restored and ready to rock out is to have a spa day. This one is actually more prevalent for the females because, that's their thing, right? What, the manicures and the pedicures but even think about it, right? Manicures, pedicures, massages, maybe the other things, right? Facials are definitely something, but these are all things, right, that, mostly it's women that are taking advantage of it. But I promise you, right, if you haven't gotten any of these things, Tina actually is a medical esthetician, so I kind of have that, that little in, I guess, if you will, with the spa industry. So that's where I kind of am biased to the fact that if you have not gotten these services, you are definitely missing out. As a man, right? You are definitely missing out. Women, I don't know. I say that as a man because I just naturally assume that women do these things for themselves all the time. If you don't, I promise you, women, you are missing out too. Because there's not a lot better than, getting pampered, right? Getting everything in your body sort of, looked after, taken care of, and especially by somebody like Tina, who's a medical esthetician. It's different than somebody who's just, a nail person. I don't know what they're called. But she actually went to school for the whole medical thing with it. So in that aspect, it's like a whole ordeal. Now, it's a little bit extra time, but I promise you it's worth it because you get a hand massage, you get feet, leg massage, you get a body massage, if you get a facial, it's nice, it opens up your pores, helps you to, helps your skin to breathe. Oh man, it's so, and it's actually good for Tina too, because I do get really big breakouts happening all the time, so for her, she just, gets right in there, right? But, I promise you, this is a great way to help you rest, actually get that rest and relaxation that you want, because there's, when you're getting pampered, right, there's not a whole lot else going on in your mind. I don't know, maybe I'm just an anomaly, right? But if I'm over there getting pampered, I'm getting a nice massage, my all of the cares and stresses and worries from the day are just leaving my body. I don't know, I tend to not think about anything else, and I tend to just enjoy that moment right there. So I mean, that would be something that I would definitely suggest if you come back and tell me that, getting a nice massage, having a cool, an awesome manicure and pedicure did nothing for your life, and it actually made you more upset that you weren't able to do lots with your extra hour throughout the day. Definitely come back here and tell me how that didn't work, because I would love to hear that. Because I have not met a spa day that I didn't like. So, I mean, if there is some that is out there, I would definitely be interested to hear about it, because I haven't found one. Number 3, do something creative. This one is awesome because it helps your brain to just flow in a completely different direction than you are. Now, this is only, it's not only, but it's more prevalent if you're doing like work, right? If you have work that you're doing, this way you can just take a break from that work and let your creative juices flow, kind of come up with something, that's completely different than what you're doing. Now, if your work is, being creative and crafting and all that stuff, maybe consider doing something else. I don't know. you get where I'm going here though, right? So that's where, doing creative things is a way to get your brain juices flowing, right? If you are ever stuck on a problem and you just keep constantly going with it, this is just another way to help rewire your brain. It's also a nice brain exercise too, right? When you're doing different things that you're not normally used to doing, it uses different patterns in your brain, and that way it forces you to think a different way. It forces you to use different, I'll call it muscles because I'm not actually sure the word I'm looking for, but it does. It forces you to use different brain muscles, right? Think differently. And then that's a great way to help when you come back to your problem, right? You've got a different thought process going on, and you also one of those things that I find more than anything when I got a problem that I can't really solve, it's just because I'm just thinking about it too much, right? And I'm there and I'm just putting all of my time and effort and energy into it, and I can't really get anything else across, right? Because I'm just focused too much on that one thing. When you leave and you come back to it, that's creating different brain waves or different waves in your brain. So that way you are actually forcing yourself to come back and think the problem differently, because you're coming back at it looking at it from a different perspective, right? So doing something creative, right? Whether that be, a puzzle, some sort of, if you're into video games, maybe crafting, right? Building something. Me, I like building things, right? So that's another something for me. But that's a way to help you actually rest and relax. Because when you're doing something creative and you're doing something that's fun, that's not you stressing out. That's not you, getting down on yourself. That's you helping yourself, forcing yourself to be happy because you're doing something that uses brainwaves that allows you to be happy. So find something creative that you like to do. If you don't know what you like to do that's creative, a simple Google search will help you just get on the right track. And once you're on the right track, then you can start trying different things. And that's really all that life is, right? Trial and error, trying things and see if they work. If they don't, try something else. Number 4 idea designed for you to actually have a rest day on the weekend. Do some meditation. Meditation can be nothing more than just focusing on your breathing. One of the ways that I like to do it, and it's actually really easy for me, is just to focus on, this is the way that it was explained to me, the nose hairs that you have, right? And when you just close your eyes and you just focus on your nose hairs, right? When you're breathing in, you focus on the hairs going up, and then when you're breathing out, you focus on the hairs going down. It's just focusing on one thing, just one thing, to help your brain sort of come back down to earth, I guess, if you want to call it. But meditation is a great way to help rewire your brain. It's also a great way to help give you a different thought process, because what meditation is more than anything is it's just focusing on one specific thing, and your mind's going to wander, obviously, but you're trying to bring your mind back onto one specific thing. That's why the nose hairs are kind of the easiest thing, right? I can also tell you that, just a quick side note story with meditation, it's, what happened? There was an ailment that I had. It was either my back or my leg it was just brutal, and I couldn't even really do anything. And I was trying to sleep, and I could not, because I was just tossing and turning. And I actually tried that. I tried to do a little bit of meditation, focus on my breathing, forget everything else that was going on. And obviously your mind wanders. It happens, right? When you don't do it as often as maybe you should, or maybe you think you might, it does take a little bit of time, right? So that was the greatest thing that I've ever had, because when I did the meditation, when I just focused on my breathing, my back actually stopped hurting. And I was able, or it's not that my back stopped hurting, I just refocused my mind on something else. And I was actually able to get to sleep in that current instance, and it was actually really great for me. And that was right around the time where I knew that this was something that I could get on board with. This was something that if I am in any sort of thought process, whether it be a pain, whether it be some problem in my life, whether it be a solution that I can't find, forcing your brain to focus on one specific thing will help you to overcome the problems in your life, because that's just another way for you to come back and tackle it. And there's nothing worse than having a problem that you can't really figure out, and it just keeps gnawing at you, and you can't really think about anything else until you figure that out. Meditation is a great way. This is another one of those things that if meditation doesn't help you, and you actually life was worse, your life was worse than it is now, definitely come back and tell me that, and I would love to hear the story behind that one. Number 5, do some cleaning. This one is, you can call it a way to rest and relax, or you can call it not a way to rest and relax, but I can promise you that, think about it realistically. When your house looks like a bombshell dropped, or when it looks like a bomb dropped on it, and there is just stuff everywhere, and you can't even walk, and you're stepping over last week's banana peels, and you're like, this is just disgusting. Chances are you are not going to be resting and relaxing and recovering your body in that type of environment. So that's where I talk about do some cleaning as like a, a de-stressor. For me, that is something that I don't mind actually doing. I don't do it all the time, but I don't actually mind it. Tina's a really great one for that, because when she's got, problems in her head that she can't really solve, or when she's got stuff going on, doing some cleaning actually helps her. And she's also one of those types of people that if there's a clutter on a table or something, nothing can happen until that clutter gets decluttered. So that's why I put this on the list, right? Do a little bit of cleaning as like a de-stressor for you, because it can be, if you're trying at all to rest and relax and, recover, restore your body, but there's just a mess everywhere and you can't even you can't even think about anything else except for how dirty the place is, chances are there's not going to be a whole lot of resting and recovering going on in that household. So that's why I put this on here, right? It's also a great way to help, you can also do it as like a reorganizing thing, right? Maybe you don't like the certain look of a particular room, especially nowadays, right? Where we're coming up on Christmas, trees are coming out, decorations are going up, all sorts of that stuff, right? And I mean, Christmas is just another time where there's so much mess everywhere because there's a whole nother, thing happening. You basically have a whole nother room in your house, right? Christmas tree, presents, all that stuff that comes along with that, right? So you do some cleaning as like a de-stressor way to help you just have, an open mind about everything. Because this one I put on for a specific reason, because you already know if you've got a real big clutter in your place, there's not a whole lot that's going to happen until that clutter gets cleaned up. Number 6, read. Read a book. This one is actually really wicked because, again, it forces you to think differently, forces you to use different brainwaves, but it also helps you to sort of escape the reality, right? Depending on what type of book you read. Me, I don't really normally read those fiction books. I like biographies, right? So for me, my version of a fiction story, if you will, is a biography, right? That way I can sort of live vicariously through somebody else, and it's awesome. But if you get one of those fantasy books, right, that's just a great way to help you sort of leave this reality, right? Take a break from life and go into an alternate reality, an alternate wilderness to actually live through that, right? That's what I talked about, right? Living vicariously through somebody else. Reading is a great way to help you do that because you can basically pick any type of story that you want. For me, I like war stories, right? World War, any type of World War story, and I like putting myself in there. I like getting lost in that type of story. Some other people would like space stories, right? Star Trek is a huge one. Space stories or, sports stories or whatever type of stories help you to just get away from this life, right? Every once in a while, we need a break, right? We live very busy on-the-go lifestyles. There is very much a daily hustle and bustle of life that is happening almost constantly. So we need to do whatever we can to help ourselves sort of calm down, relax, escape the reality, learn, different things. And that's it, right? As much as it's, a fiction book, a biography about somebody else, there's definitely things that we can implement into our own lives. And then if they work, great. If they don't work, they don't work, right? You had a specific direction that you were going in life. And if you put in a different something else that didn't work, it doesn't matter, right? That's the best part about life, is that you could try something, fail, and then hold the phone. You could try something else, or you could try again. It's really great that way. And reading stories about other people, about how other people, even if you wanted to read a story about how, somebody had the world given to them and just threw it all away, and you wanted to learn what not to do, right? So, definitely, reading a book is a great way to help you, to help, again, to escape this world, right? Go into an alternate reality and just come back to regular life with a completely different thought process, a completely different perspective on life. I don't know. Who knows, right? If it doesn't work, definitely come back and tell me that it didn't work. My last tip more than anything is essential oils. Essential oil blend here like Serenity is the Restful Blend from doTERRA. And actually that one I love using to help create a relaxing environment. When we're talking about resting and relaxing and restoring and recovering for the rest of the week, we definitely want to put our mind in a relaxing state. That's what the Serenity Blend does. It helps promote that relaxing environment that is perfect for not only falling asleep but staying asleep and throughout the night. But it's also the Restful Blend, right? So it's great for promoting that relaxing environment whenever you need it throughout the day. My last oil here that I talked about right off the hop is Douglas Fir. Douglas Fir right away, 15% off, cha-ching. But it's also a great, calming, relaxing, woodsy oil. I love it for promoting that relaxing environment. This one is just like I talked about walking through the forest, how it's a nice calming feeling, relaxing, and just, a great way to help you have a different perspective on life. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, or if you'd like a free sample of oils just to get your hands on a little taste tester before we make a full-on commitment, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.